You should be able to do things the right way to get the things that you want. You don't have to take the easy way out. But if you do make a mistake, you don't have to hold yourself to that mistake for the rest of your life. When I was in the Army, I just slid into the nursing program and found out that I actually did love it. My career as a nurse rose pretty quickly because I started out as a staff nurse. As a nurse manager, I ended up, my final salary was $90,000 a year. It felt great to be able to know that I had enough money to be able to take care of myself and my family. Things took a wrong turn for me, and I ended up doing some things that got me in trouble, dealing in drugs. I really wasn't thinking about the consequences of what I was doing and how it would affect my family. And it was a very scary thought for me because I was a single parent at the time and I was raising my 14-year-old daughter at that point. And I knew that the mistakes that I made was going to affect her and also affect my son, who was 3 at the time. Before I went to prison, me and my daughter, we were extremely close. So when I went to prison, I think that was so difficult for her because she didn't have me there to lean on. And even though we tried our best with phone calls and letters, it still wasn't the same. There was still something missing, and we both knew that. During the time I was in prison, I thought only about my family and also about the things that I lost, the way that I would have to rebuild my life, how my time away had affected everyone around me, how they would react to me once I came out, if I was still the same person that I was when I went in, and if they would still be able to love me how I am now.
Oh, no, no!
You keep running the same way. That's how I know where to throw it to. You have to be able to run 2 different ways. As I got out of prison and came back home and seen how my family had changed, how my kids had gotten older, how that I have grandkids now,
You didn't touch me.
I just knew it was a time that I could never get back.
Everybody, this is a family picture. Maybe we're taking a walk. Yes.
Going to prison is more than just losing the amount of time that your prison sentence is. When I was first convicted, I owned my own home. I had my own car, which was paid off. I had a 401k plan that I had at work. I had insurance.
I go first, please. I first. Yeah.
Being in prison, you don't have any income coming in, so I couldn't pay my mortgage. And when I got out of prison, my house had been foreclosed on. My car had been sold. All my assets were gone. It's definitely a misconception to think that once you do your time in prison that you don't have to worry about anything anymore. Now you have a felony conviction, which means there's only certain types of jobs that you can get. You can't make the same amount of money that you made before.
You ready to go wash your hands?
I think my daughter and my son were greatly impacted by my incarceration and my conviction because I was a provider for both of them. My daughter in particular, she has to pay for school on her own, get school loans on her own, without any help from me at all.
So they went and picked her up and we did the cake and she opened her gift.
We're in a good place. I mean, she loves me as much as I love her, and we just want the best for each other.
Dad, the
Are you all done,
boys.
baby?
Now the
My daughter's actually, she just applied to nursing school, so that it's kind of come a full circle for me, and knowing that she wants to go in the profession that I was in makes me really proud. So she should be starting a nursing school within the next couple of months.
Come on, Brayden.
Go. You gotta touch it. You gotta touch it.
There you go, Brayden.
At first, it was kind of hard for me to talk to anybody about prison because of the embarrassment and shame that I feel. But I've owned that. I've owned the time that I've done, and I try not to hold myself to my past mistakes.
Go. Take it. Shot.
My personal mistake was dealing in something that could get me incarcerated, which is bad judgment on my part. But that doesn't change the fact that I love just like anyone else does, that I have a family just like other people do. Just because you make a mistake, it doesn't mean that you have to live in that mistake.